So here's an update. I put the worms in a little clear dish so the frog could find them there. And he did. He loved them. Boy, he said, I have found my home. And he would jump in and grab a worm or two and then jump back out and jump back in, and he just had himself a big time. And you see there's a little fish on there on the right that I didn't know I had. But then look what shows up. This is a bigger frog. I think this one's the first frog from the videos. And he's like, I want me some of this action. So he comes in. First frog says, no, you're going to need to find your own place. So back off, dude. And sends him packing. So they're learning to eat out of this dish. They're not the most graceful thing, but here he comes again. He's going to jump in this dish and get him a worm. And he jumps back in the water every time, which I guess makes me, I don't know anything about, I'm not a frogologist, but makes me wonder what the process is for them to, that they need to be in water to digest their food or something. But anyway, and then I decide for whatever reason we're going to put the worms back on the rock. So stick another rock in there, put the worms on top. I've lost a lot of worms this way, especially after they warm up out of being out of the refrigerator. And he's much bolder. I mean, I'm still standing there. I'm operating the camera, and he's right there. So he is, he's ready for his next course of worms, and just continues to eat. And I've got the watermelon there, trying to attract some flies and get some different action in here. And they're just not the most graceful, and they're not. They waste a lot of worms this way. I've gone through a lot of worms feeding these frogs. But then look who shows up. And this time, he's not going to be dissuaded. He's like, move on, dude. For a split second, I thought he had eaten him. But you look at it in slow motion, you can see he's just telling the guy, you've had enough. I'm coming in. And like most bullies, he's not the smartest amphibian in the mud puddle, but he manages to do all right. He's the two worms on that one. He gets in, he loses one in the water, but he manages to get one down, and he jumps back in. He's going to have a second go. And he's loving these worms, even though he's pushing half of them in the water. And then a fly, clearly suicidal, comes in. Spoiler alert, you know what's going to happen to this fly. I don't know how he didn't see that frog. Seeing it again in slow motion. So I hope y'all are enjoying this frog feeder as much as I am.